Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of TitanCraft here on Tango Tech's Patreon server. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am having a fantastic day. I'm super excited to get in today's projects. We got a lot to do today, a lot of building, a lot of grinding. I've currently been going absolutely crazy when it comes to getting resources out in our resource worlds and just mining away getting the things that we need. If you watched the last episode, you'll know that we have a giant Greek mega build base that we're going to be working on. That is the centerpiece right here that is outlined here with the dirt structure, and I'm super excited to get going on that. I think we're going to draw a bit of an outline because the Colosseum in the center is an oval shape, so I think we'll get around to getting that outline in place. But we won't do a ton of building on it quite yet because there's a ton of resources that need to go into that, and we don't quite have enough to really get a good start. However, I think we're going to start off this episode with some building over at our friend RogueTorso's base. So here we have today's to-do list. First up, we have a build that we're doing at my good friend RogueTorso's base. He's doing a bit of a medieval village style build and is asking some people to go ahead and build some little village style buildings for his villagers to live in. So we're going to go ahead and go build for that as our first thing on our to-do list today. Right after that, we need to check in on our shops, including the competition that we started last episode that basically collects a bunch of sandstone and sand for our giant Colosseum that's going to go right behind us there. We've gotten quite a few donations, but I would like quite a bit more, so we're going to try and build a big sign for that and hopefully get a lot of the rewards starting to get set up, so we'll see what we get done with the shops. And then last but not least, of course, we are going to do a base outline. I have kind of done some designing in creative for the entire Colosseum build, and it's really coming along quite nicely. I'm really proud of the stuff I'm putting together, but I still have quite a bit to do because it's so big and complicated and detailed that I really want to make sure I get it right. So we're going to get the entire landmass kind of cleared out and flattened, and then after that we're going to put in the oval outlines for both the floor where people fight inside the stadium and for the exterior oval outline. And with that said, everybody, let's get right into the building. As we walk inside our basic dirt hut here, that's just a temporary setup before we get going on the big builds. You can see this little hole that's new from last episode where I have a bigger storage system that has quite a lot of resources. In fact, it's almost nearly full in all the chests. It's quite a bit of sand, and over here are some shulkers of sandstone. We got a lot of donations from people going for our competition because they all are going after the big room that is head of the Colosseum where normally the Emperor of Rome would sit, that will be customized to their liking when we build it, for whoever donates the most, that is. So it's nice to see we got those donations down there. Just wanted to show that off before we head out to Rogue's place and get building. Here are some of the resources I've collected for the build that we're going to do at our friend RogueTorso's build site, and I'll link his YouTube channel in the description. He has some great videos. I'd highly recommend watching him, so make sure to check him out after this. Anyways, I know that he wants each different building that people do to be themed after a certain type of villager, so I think I want to do one themed after the fisherman. So what I came up with was a lot of ice and snow to make it more of an ice fishing hut sort of deal, and it'll be really fun to get some icicles and all the different texturing with the snow. That'll look super good. And of course some spruce logs. You always need that for medieval builds, and a lot of different stone variants as well. So I think we're set, and let's get going. Whoop. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in this wonderful medieval village. It looks super cool. Here by RogueTorso. Once again, check him out in the link in description when you're done here. And we're here to get going on our build. I think a couple people have made, for example, that building over there. I'm not sure which other ones, if any, were made by other people, but he's trying to get shops all lined up around here for each different villager profession, so that he has villagers for every profession, basically. Yes, it looks like he's building currently on one of his shops, so we'll try and stay away from that. But I think that this ice village or ice fishing sort of area will go really nice right around here just because of the snow that's kind of chilling here. And it'll overall probably match the vibe better. Although, ooh, there's snow over there too. So maybe this was a good pick to make this type of building. Hopefully it turns out great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get building this amazing new ice fishing hut sort of deal, and I'll come back when we're all done with that. But here we go, y'all. It's building time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at what we have here. Quite the difference from what you probably saw before. And I'm actually super proud of this build. To be clear, it's not quite done yet, which is a little unfortunate, but we will get working on the rest of it soon. But I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that I've done so far. So, the type of thing I was going for that I think I mentioned earlier was an ice fishing hut or house. Kind of like a getaway from a long day's work, ice fishing, and you can cuddle up by the fire and get all the fish prepped up to eat, that sort of thing. So I went for a very mountainous, snowy village kind of vibe, which I think goes pretty well with the medieval theme here. We used mostly wood and stone variants in this build. So for example, up here we'd have some dark oak, right there we have birch, there's some oak right there, and there's spruce down below. It's all the different types of wood except for acacia actually, which is a little crazy. But we have a lot of the different variants in the textures as well, like with the planks, the stripped, and of course the actual logs. I think this gives it a pretty nice look, especially with all the different snow layers, giving it a lot of different depths and texture, as well as the texture just from the different block looks, not just the depth texture. I'm super proud of all the different layering we've done with not only like snow layers, but then, you know, all the different types of stone to make a nice looking wall. And yeah, it's looking really snazzy from the outside, if I do say so myself. And we got a nice chimney up top because obviously we want to deal with the cold weather. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. And I'm actually not super experienced when it comes to interiors, more so exteriors. So I'm actually super proud of the interior as well. As soon as you walk in, you have this nice checkered rug that actually is hiding some lighting because we're trying to get it as lit up as we possibly can. But we also have a couple chairs here just to kind of fill in the empty space, and then some little tables with lighting. I was trying to fit in as much lighting as I could so that we're not letting any mobs spawn in here. There's sort of two different rooms in this downstairs floor, and over here on the left is the first one, which has a bit of a washing bin or a sink. You could put fish here. I'm not sure if they'd be alive or dead, but I might just leave that up to RogueTorso's imagination. He can put whatever he wants in there and put a bucket up here. So we have a nice countertop and lots of barrels. I think the most difficult part about the interior here was the fact that I couldn't use any workstations besides barrels. Since this build is going to be used for fishermen villagers, I couldn't use stone cutters. I wanted to use some of those for, you know, cutting up some fish. So instead we got a bit of a fish knife here. But yeah, not having any other workstations to use as interior decorating made it a lot more difficult. But we made do. So I tried to include some... Oh, F's in chat for the plant. I tried to include a lot of color variation when it came to the interior because a lot of the wood can kind of blend together when it's not just for an exterior. So I tried to get some plants in with green, and then some of the other colors, like having water, kind of separates out the colors as well. Over here on the other side, we have a bit of a different vibe, and I made some Dutch oven style things. I know they're kind of stovetops, but this is a medieval village, and so that technology shouldn't really be invented yet. So I'm not sure if the rails should stay on top or not, but it gives it a little more detail. So I'll keep those there unless RogueTorso wants otherwise. And then of course we have an anvil and crafting table, the essentials, some more plant decorations, and our trusty fishing rod. This little build over here is a little different. I thought to fill this amount of space, I could make a bit of a fish freezer. So inside here is some ice, a lantern to make sure there are no mobs, and a little bit of snow. So I imagine you could put some fish in here for some safekeeping, because obviously there's no refrigerators right here, so we need a bit of an ice room. So that's pretty much the downstairs, which is more of the fish treating and preparation to sell and to eat. But the upstairs is where the bedrooms are. In fact, actually, just the singular bedroom. We have another rug here with a different color because the beds are red, so I didn't want to use the same color as the beds. But it's definitely a good use of space, at least in my opinion. Like, this is only a few blocks by a few blocks, and we made sure to use every ounce of space we had. So we got the barrels, of course, to go along with the fisherman vibe. Has some charcoal in there for fuel for this nice fireplace, and the chimney actually comes up on this side, so I made sure to make that match. Also have some wood here that you could use for the fire, an ender chest And then, of course, some shelves and paintings to kind of fill in the different gaps on the walls. I didn't want to do anything to this one because it's kind of where you walk, but I wanted to make sure there wasn't too much blank space. Right here, I have the 2 beds kind of used like a bunk bed, and it doesn't look entirely perfect. Like, I'm sure you could probably make it look better, but I honestly think it looks pretty good. Bam! Now that looks a little bit better. I think it's a little more realistic because the beds weren't really connected at all, and of course they're kind of, I would imagine, nailed into this wall here. They didn't have any support on the other side, so I think these trapdoors are making good use of the space to make it look a little more realistic. But yeah, it's a nice little cozy room up here. Overall, I'd say the interior was pretty well used. It doesn't feel too crowded, but at the same time it doesn't feel like there's not enough things around either. And even with the blank floor space, I tried to make it a little more texturized, as well as, on the staircase leading up. So hopefully you guys think that this turned out great as well. Of course, I'm super proud of the interior and exterior of this wonderful build here. I think it looks really, really good, and I'm super proud of it. But there is something else I want to add to it. I might be going a little overboard here for what RogueTorso wanted, but I think it's really going to add a lot to the vibe, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to be doing much with the space I'm going to use. As you can probably tell, this little house that I've built is kind of right into this side of the mountain, and we need to kind of terraform this to look a little better so it fits naturally in there. We have some trees growing here, so it looks a little more natural as well. But it's built into the side of this mountain, and I don't imagine hello! I don't imagine he's going to be using this back of the mountain, so I figured let's use this back of the mountain to help tell a story and make this build feel more alive. What exactly am I going to be doing with it? Well, if you take a look out this back door here, there's not a ton of space, and I'm going to try and kind of cover this up, terraform it to look better. But we're going to dig a cave that goes down. Not a super big cave, but a medium-sized cave so that we can decorate it. The reason that we're going to do this is because even though there's, all these different things you can do with the fish when you catch it, there's not really a place for the fishermen to go catch fish. And so there's not really any bodies of water that are super close, and I don't want to build in a giant body of water, especially with the snow. We could build an underground cave here and have a bunch of ice and little spots in the ice that are open to water, so it's ice fishing. I think that definitely go with the theme a little better than just some normal fishing. So that's everything that I've done with the house. I'm super proud of the build, but this is the part that I still have to do, is kind of terraform on the sides and back here, and then go ahead and make this nice ice cave with icicles hanging from the top. It'll look super good, and we'll be able to tell a better story. So I'm gonna get cracking on this part of the build, and I'll be right back. Alright everybody, we have officially finished the entire house, including the secret cave I have way back there that I told you about. I'm gonna go ahead and show you it by touring it with RogueTorso as well, to show him kind of what I've done. So let's hop on a call with everyone. We're here with RogueTorso in his nice medieval village, and we have the build done all ready to show off. So I hope you're excited, man.
I am excited. I did peek a couple of times when you weren't on. I know I saw it pretty early. I don't think I've seen it since it's been done, so I'm pretty excited to see what you've done inside. But so yeah,
Sweet. So just got a quick little tour, and as you can see from the outside, it's kind of wood and stone based and a lot of variation. I spent way too much time trying to figure out how to make it a little more textured. But I think it looks pretty good from the outside and has kind of the like snow vibe from up the mountain a little bit. There's a little snow, so I thought with the whole fishing theme I could go with sort of the ice fishing vibe.
Yeah, I like it. So
sweet. Well, let's head inside.
Alrighty.
So there are 2 floors. Here on the first floor, it's kind of the like actual preparation for the fish and that sort of thing. So over here there's kind of like, cutting station and water. I'm not sure what it's used for. I'm kind of just leaving that up to you. And then on the other side, on the other side here we have kind of like a walk-in freezer sort of deal for the fish. And
I loved this. I saw this the other day. I'm like, that's so cool.
Upstairs here we have just a quick little bedroom so that, the villagers have a place to stay, and I don't know if you saw the chimney on the outside, but made sure that connected up.
Nice. I did see the chimney for sure.
Yeah, so that's the entire interior, but I did decide last minute to go the extra mile and go a little crazy with the back. It didn't look like you were going to use the mountain, so I hope this is okay. So
No.
going off of the ice fishing vibe, I decided to kind of make a cave for that. So there's actually a place for them to get the fish. So you can kind of go down and see like there's a little there's a little crane and a little cave back here as well to, there's a fishing pole and all that.
Cool.
So
Oh, you even got like the basket down there or whatever.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, I had my little like apothecary store over there has what's supposed to be like a mushroom cave in behind it too, but I didn't quite get it finished. But yeah, I love this.
yeah, it's definitely a little difficult to make those like custom caves because, finding the right shape and stuff to make it rounded on the ceiling, and I didn't want to like keep the same kind of lanterns because there's quite a few of them around, and I think the blue kind of went with the ice a little bit. So yeah,
For sure.
quick little tour. I hope it's up to standard.
It is. You knocked it out of the park, dude. I mean, I came in here, like I said, before it was even done, and my first impression was I'm not even sure I've built anything that's as good as this. So, I'm very appreciative of you taking the time, and I know you took a lot of time. Obviously, I've been building right across the street as you've been doing it, and it is just, it's awesome. And the addition of the snow and some of the other little things, it's pretty cool. So yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I can't say enough about it.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
I dig a hole and I fill it with farms. I've never really done anything that has to look good, and it's been a challenge for sure. It's some of the amount of time some of this has taken, and honestly, this is the first like roads I've done like this, and yeah, I think they turned out pretty good. So if you ever need anything, I owe you one or two.
I love watching RogueTorso's videos. He really doesn't get enough recognition for them, so absolutely go check it out. He is incredible. But I'm really, really proud of this build, especially because if you don't know, I'm new to Minecraft. Ironically enough, trying to take on all these big projects, I literally started playing in like April or June, or sorry, May. I'm mixing things up, but I actually have the first time I ever played Minecraft here on the channel. I'll actually put that in a tag if you'd like to go check that out. But it's definitely been really fun to try and do different build styles, especially because this is quite a bit different from what I'm trying to pull off. So I really, really enjoy these different styles, and especially I think the snow theme is what really knocks it out of the park, in my opinion. Just because it's like the snow layers, the icicles, and then the cave in the background. It's so much fun to add different environments to things and not just have the house. Even though the house is amazing and I got some practice with the interior, and I really am not great at interiors. I'm kind of worried about that for the Colosseum because I think the exterior we're going to nail down pretty hard. But I think this was some great practice and definitely a lot of fun to have our first like real interaction with another person on the server. I've definitely done some projects with other people, but it's more of the first collaboration. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and it's time to move on to our next project. Let's get on with it. Just one small thing that I kind of came across is I was packing up all my stuff and leaving because there are quite a few resources I had lying around after doing this amazing build. Oh, there's a zombie guy behind me. Let's take care of that. Anyways, basically I was packing up my stuff and leaving and going through his nether portal back through the nether hub to our amazing base location. And I saw that he was starting to build a bit of a pathway using ice, and so I thought I'd be a good neighbor and leave him some of the ice. I gathered all of this ice here for the cave in the back, but I didn't end up using nearly as much as I gathered, so I figured we may as well leave it here for him because he'll actually make some use of it. So I hope he enjoys. Now that we've wrapped up the builds over at RogueTorso's, which I gotta say was a whole ton of fun, I really, really enjoyed that. We need to focus on our shops now. We need to make some diamonds and make some resources off of our competition we started last episode for the big Colosseum build. Because once again, there's a ton of resources you need for that. And so we're having other people collect it for us, basically, as donations. And we have some prizes set up for that. So we're going to go ahead and make a trip over to the shopping district after I grab some materials so that we can check some profits and how much people have donated. Unfortunately, we do not have any profits here at the ore shop. I really need to get really some better advertising for this, or if not that, we just need to do a little better with our products. I know we've been out of coal for a while, and obsidian and redstone, everything else is stocked, but maybe we need to lower the prices or something like that, because we're not really making a ton of money off of this, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to revamp the ore shop at some point, but we do need to focus on our 2 other shops, and that includes our Did You Die box shop that we worked on a little bit last time, not building the actual shop per se, but getting the whole thing kind of set up. And right now I'm kind of collecting all the materials for the supplies that we're going to sell, and don't really have all that put together yet. I'm actually going to go end busting with my fellow partner in crime for the store. So we got to get those resources, and next episode is when we're going to actually build the store and start making profit. But the other shop we also do have going on is our shop over here. That is the donations that we receive for our Colosseum and Greek style builds. We built this last episode for everybody so that we could get some donations of sand and sandstone, and we're going to change the shop all throughout the season so that we can get the different materials that we need. And I showed what's in the book last time, and these are the current scores right now. Sandstone and sand are really what we need right now for the Colosseum build, and we'll turn some of that sand into glass for the Olympus build as well. But I haven't actually checked this in a little bit because there weren't a ton of people coming by. So if we take a look in our input chest, oh my... Oh my gosh. Wow. We have quite a few boxes. It looks like most of them are from one person. I know someone messaged me on Discord saying that they had collected quite a bit. Holy crap. Wow, that is a lot. This is so helpful for our build. Then we have a couple other people in here as well. So these are the current scores for our competition, and now we have more than 5 people competing. And that's really important because if you don't know, the prize pool for the entire thing, the top 5 donors for, you know, how many boxes you donate, get valuable Did You Die boxes. So it's going to have fully enchanted armor and tools and things like that. So that includes the top person. So basically the top 5 people will get those valuable boxes. And now that we have more than 5 people, people might be more incentivized to compete because they want to make sure they're in that top 5. And then the top donor is going to receive a fully decorated room inside the Colosseum that overlooks the arena. And it's going to be kind of based on a lot of the things that they want inside of it. Make it personalized to them so they're part of the big build. So pretty tight competition here, but there are some people going crazy with this. We have Cookie Hook with 10 boxes, Mega J World with 14 boxes, Scoop with 1 box, Achilles with 30 whole boxes, and Hennis and Sammy Terry both with 5 boxes each. So it looks like Achilles is quite far in the lead, and people are going to have to work their butt off if they're going to catch up. So hopefully we get some nice competition. I'm definitely going to send an update out to our Discord to kind of bring everyone up to speed on what the scores are. We have a Discord for our entire server, so making an announcement will hopefully get people a little bit more excited about donating because the competition is fierce. One thing I decided to do in between episodes actually was get this little win sign in. It looks a little wonky because the W just, I don't know, the W is a little too wide. I really should make the sign either longer that way or squash the letters in. I'm not sure, but honestly, it's fine for right now. I'll probably take it down at some point. But there weren't really a lot of people donating for quite some time, and so I thought it'd be a good idea to put that sign up so that people can actually see the build. Obviously, when you look all around the shopping district, there are some pretty tall and pretty big, impressive builds, and there's so many of them that we kind of have to differentiate ourselves. It's not really much, but it's easy to not see this little pavilion down there if you're not really looking for it. So I hope that one sign continues to help out a little more, and we'll tear it down or make a nice fancy one at some point if we get going on some of the projects we're working on. But now it's really going to be a problem of, can we carry all these shulkers back? Oh my gosh. Well, everybody, as you can see, we kind of went on a shopping spree. Got some netherite armor and another set of elytra. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not all. I believe this takes us all the way up to our post office. If we go up these stairs here, I ordered a shulker of every type of wood besides dark oak. So we should have a delivery. Here we are. So it looks like we have 5 diamonds each per shulker box, so 5 times 5 should be 25, so I think they just did the math wrong. We'll go ahead and give them 25 diamonds for these wonderful shulker boxes of wood. And honestly, we always need wood, so that's why I went ahead and did it. It seemed like a cheap price, so we're definitely going to be using it at some point. There we go, we have paid our wonderful supplier for wood, and I think that's really all the shopping we'll do today. We spent quite a bit, so I'm definitely going to make up for that. I've been doing a lot of work grinding, absolutely grinding, with a bunch of enchantments and things like that for our backup boxes that we're going to start selling next episode. I'm getting them all ready. They're going to be super premium, but a little pricey because they're so cool. So look forward to that in the next episode. I have finally gathered together the Did You Die boxes, or the backup boxes, whichever you want to call them. And here they are out in this chest with the nice cyan dye color. These 5 backup boxes are not going to be the ones sold at our shop, but rather they are going to be the ones for the people that donated the most for our big competition. And so I just thought I'd show you what we put inside. I just so happened to grab the only one that was incomplete. Right here in the spot should be a fully enchanted elytra. I just need one more to fill up, but all the others are full of them. So we have some fully enchanted tools, including 2 picks and 2 shovels, a full set of armor, including the elytra when we get to it, a totem of undying, a great sword, shield, flint and steel, because everyone knows you use flint and steel, not really, but it's okay. And then, of course, a bow and fire pants, aka the 1.16 necessity. We also have up here at the top right a Dorp cookie. If you are on the server, you know what that is. But essentially, there is a wonderful Titan here on the server named Dorp, and he every time that he comes into the game, it spawns a cookie, but they're still kind of rare, so people like to collect them. So I thought it'd be something fun to put into the prize pool. So we have the prizes for our competition all ready to go. I think it's going to be pretty nice for all the people that win, and we're getting a lot of donations. The basement is absolutely stuffed with resources, so we definitely need to get building next episode. And I know I mentioned that I'd probably get working on the outline for the Colosseum, but everything's just taking a little longer than I expected it to. So my current plan is to get this episode out because it's been delayed quite a few times already due to me being busy in real life, but I'm going to spend some time in between the next episode clearing out this entire land, just leveling it so that it's all at one area so we can start building the outline next episode. That's the other reason, is it's going to take a while to make this entire place completely level. So I'll go ahead and do that in between episodes so that we can actually get going on the outline and possibly build up the entrance next episode. It's going to be great to actually get some progress on this Colosseum. It's been a dirt outline for a little while now, but now that we're actually starting to get the resources, it's becoming more and more possible. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching this episode. It really does mean a lot to me. I'm having so much fun here on the server, doing some crazy builds and stuff, and sometimes we get a little sidetracked, but that's okay because we're having fun. Make sure to stay tuned for next episode, and make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so that you get notified when the next episode is up. Because we're going to be making some huge progress on the Colosseum. Possibly build a farm or two, maybe a storage system. I'm not really sure what we're going to do yet. It really depends on what happens. And, of course, get our business for the backup boxes up and going. So there's a lot to look forward to. Make sure you hit that notification bell once again. And I will see you guys next time.